Well, so let's look at what we have this morning. Mama, good morning to you and welcome.
Thank you very much. How are you?
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day when I started journalism, where you live, those areas, we had acute water shortages in those areas. Do you have water in your area, or you buy from tanks?
It's borehole.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but I recently learned
you have it drilled in the household,
not in
the
my house,
community?
but in the community.
So you have a
in the
mechanized,
smaller community, exactly. So it's kind of pumped into individual
So back
tanks.
in the day, I'll go from Amasama, Doblo, or I kind of blow and all those places.
Why are you targeting my area?
No. It's
but recently, I've been told that Ghana water is either laying pipes or so
they've been
it's kind of
those pipes for the past 15 years. They haven't finished.
Maybe some people have seen water in through some of the pipes,
right?
And I've been told that it's just gotten very close to us now. Right. So we can extend it.
I can bet you it take you about 3-4 years before you get that.
That's it.
Well, if you have some big MP or some minister living in your area,
then maybe it will happen, eh?
That's a plus.
Oh my God! I don't think it should be that way.
Because I remember
I think
back
every
in the day when
individual
I used to live just around Sakumono area.
Because the MPs were there.
People, the household, the front house the lanes were all tarred.
That is not fair. So not
I think
fair.
some of them have moved, so the roads have gone bad.
Oh, but I think that genuinely, if you walked to Ghana Water and the water was so close to you, it needed to be pulled to your house, I'm sure they'll be able to sort you out. I'm just saying. Prove me right, Ghana Water
And
Company.
we're saying this because today is World Water Day, so we have to focus on something water.
Yeah, but it's a shame. A lot of individuals would say that if they had their own way, they will move away from Ghana Water. They will have their own private borehole. And some people are doing that already. I don't know, in the long term, is it like very sustainable? Can you have borehole for the rest of your life?
I think you can, only if you look at the costs. Because I feel maybe the initial financial layout will be a bit burdensome to a family or an individual who may not have enough at the beginning. So that's why we need the state to complement that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's the debate is always out there.
I talk to a lot of the young people who are coming up. They would rather have their own borehole, have their solar.
Maybe the young people
have your own solar, so that you're not relying on electricity. You're not electricity company. You're not relying on Ghana Water. It's like you have your everything and you're living in your house.
Term, that's more financially prudent. Yeah.
Well,
but not everybody will have it, unless if you're renting.
True, but we know that what has also been destroying the water bodies greatly has been illegal mining activities. And there are a number of things happening today, marking this day. There's a group that's been marching and trying to do the advocacy and saying that don't get close to Etiwa because that's. But we will talk about that a bit later on in the show.
And then I also heard yesterday on Facebook that there seem to be some vast acreages of land in those areas leading to Insawam and all that. Is that true?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Definitely. I mean,
that's where they'll be setting up the U.S. military base. It's a serious thing. You'll be living close to U.S. It's not bad though.
You're giving false information on air. Correct what you've just said.
So U.S. military base.
Correct what you've just said.
I mean, that's just by the side. It's not true.
I'll feel protected, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you feel.
It's fine. Whatever happens.
For me, I'll live close to a U.S. military base any day.
Send me a message, a regular SMS,
then
and a text
I'll begin
message.
to have daughters. You'll marry white people.
Okay, so send me a message.
Americans.
I think yesterday I didn't do well. I didn't read a lot of the messages. So I'll start very early today. Somebody sending Walanyo in Akwetia says, since when do all the NDC members become security experts, and yet they were so negligent about the Gedmo 2 saga? Okay, so that's where you're taking this conversation to. You're welcome to send me a WhatsApp message or a regular SMS message. Here's one saying, hello, good morning. To be frank, we the people of Agbozoma, Kliko in the Volta region were suffering from armed robbers too much. They were killing the motor riders, you see, and even attacking the mobile money vendors anytime, any day. But our police are not doing anything about it. This is not good. Frank in Agbozoma is asking the police to do something about the armed robbery incidents in the area. So this one says, is Ghana really beyond aid? If so, why is MPP selling Ghana for? Okay, no, I'm not going to read that. Paul, send me messages that are factual. Don't come up with something and send me. I wouldn't read it. Let's do the newspapers. I'll start off with the Daily Graphic newspaper. On the front page, government minority sharply divided over Ghana-US defense cooperation. And in that press conference that we played back to you bits and pieces of the things that were said by the defense minister and then the information minister. But one thing that I'm sure MPs will be concentrating on, particularly the minority, is the comments that the information minister made in terms of some elements in Parliament. I'm sure they won't like that very much. So we will hear conversations on the back of this press conference. But there's one thing that I want to ask the defense minister and the ministry, if you like, or the foreign affairs ministry. So agreed that we went into this contract back in 1998 with all the terms, unbelievable terms, because now we know it was signed secretly, agreed with all those terms. We've opened our doors like we're not even a sovereign nation. That was back in 1998. This is 2018. Should we just be, just go ahead and say because we signed it back in 1998, yeah, I've signed, that's it, let's go? Or you review it. We are an independent nation. Terms and conditions can always be reviewed. But it's no excuse that because we signed in 1998, because in 2015 we kind of renewed it, so 2018 we're going ahead to do is just like it's fixed. We can't do anything about it. What, they've tied our hands or something? I'm just asking. So, I really, what do you think? What do you think? Please send me a message. I didn't want to believe that.
I don't know. Well, I keep thinking about it. I don't know.
We're a sovereign nation for crying out loud. We're independent. America is America.
I mean, what the defense minister was saying yesterday,
you can show us all the evidence and all the documents for all you like.
I just didn't get a head and tail. Even though I think there will be nothing wrong, there should be, but I think there's no consistency in what the positions we hold as a country.
Yeah.
Because in one breath we feel that we don't want some kind of neo-colonialistic or imperialistic approach to states and the way we relate to the West, etc. And in one breath we seem to want Ghana beyond aid. We don't want any assistance, or we want to win ourselves up. And the other we see.
I think
there's just some inconsistency in there.
I think what we are not clear. As I sit here, I don't know what we stand to gain, and I think that we're not making any judgment in terms of this deal is not good for us. It's just that the terms crazy. It's unbelievable. It's like we are under a certain nation. We are not even Ghana on our own. I think what our members should be telling us as citizens of Ghana is, if we have this deal with America, this is what we stand to gain. This is why we're going into this. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But don't tell me that because these unbelievable terms, like they've tied our hands to it since 1998.
Reminds me.
And Hannah Tete kind of also refreshed it, so there's nothing we can do. There's something
it's
we
like
can
saying that because your dad
it.
had 4 children or 5 children, you're also going to have 5 children. After all, my dad started it.
Yeah.
And then you say,
are you your dad?
Or you say, my great-grandfather started it.
Yeah.
My dad continued. So why not? Why don't I? It's just, I don't know. I don't have a problem if we have
again.
one, but I don't
Please
know.
come again.
Let's
stick to the stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper.
And then there was one thing about the leaking of documents. I said, we have had a number of documents that are always in the media. If the media gets documents, the media is not supposed to tell you whether it was somebody who leaked it or not.
So you see,
how would you know whether it was an NDC? It could have been a clerk of parliament who would have taken a picture of it.
Yeah.
It could have been somebody who was being asked to go and do a photocopy. You never know. So you cannot say it's the MPs who leaked it. It can never happen like that. The journalists will never tell you it's an MP or somebody.
I think we've got one more day to go. What we need government to address is to pass the right to information bill.
No,
so that
late before Parliament first.
Okay, late before. Let it be in Parliament. So you've got one more day to do that.
For this.
So that independently we can also be checking some of these things. This one, it is you telling us what is in the agreements. There's no way for us to, Yeah, you only tell us what you want to tell us. Let's stick to the rest of the stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Bank of Ghana intervention in Unibank timely. That story is on page 20. Financial institutions to implement cyber security policies. We've heard this. Okay, well, this is financial institutions, so maybe something really will be done. Angry Unibank customers besiege branches. We were told yesterday a lot of people going to the bank wanting to withdraw, and then some details as to the things that Unibank didn't quite do right. All those issues also coming up. So what we have on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper making the banner headline, some customers of Unibank at the Kokomlemle branch, not too far from where we are. Picture taken by Ebo Hansen. That's what's on the front page of the newspaper. And maybe the media must also help in telling people that this doesn't mean you should go on day 1 or day 2 and go and withdraw all your money. The Bank of Ghana has intervened, which is good assurance. I mean, it means that the Bank of Ghana, they've got your back. So don't think about DKM and just quickly rush and go and take all your savings. For all you know, after the 6 months, they might come back again and say, oh, all cleared, Unibank can go ahead. Center spread, UPSA schools SMEs on bookkeeping, and then business urged to adopt tech to penetrate global market. Ghana beyond aid achievable, according to Robert Jackson, the U.S. ambassador to Ghana. On the back page of the Daily Graphic, zero tolerance for overloaded vehicles. We've heard it. The Minister of Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amwakwata, has declared zero tolerance for overloading vehicles on the country's bridges. And in this regard, he has directed the Ghana Highway Authority to strictly enforce the axle load regulations to protect bridges from collapse. Nice talk. But as we speak right now, as I even tell you the story, as I tell you about this directive given by the Roads Minister, there are vehicles that have loaded way beyond what they should be doing.
It's usually 4.8 meters.
They are on the road.
Yes.
They are everywhere.
Cause trouble all the time. We never seem to enforce anything, do we?
Yeah, so good directive, but really we'll end up with nothing.
All right, so we get to the Ghanaian Times, and it says at the AU summit. Okay, but let's look at this. Withdraw Ghana-US Defense Cooperation. I'm sure it's got to do with all the issues about military base, supposedly, etc. I have this post from Agnes Okran on Facebook. She's my good friend. She lives in the US. I know I call her AC level. She says, "Dear America, make sure you send over 40,000 of your military men. If Donald Trump wants to cancel DV lottery, this is our only way we can see New York."
Listen,
I told
Roland, see, I was thinking about something yesterday. You remember I shared that there was a joke, April Fool's Day at Sky FM when we said people who wanted to fight for America in Iraq could come forward, and we had like lots of people come around Sky FM wanting to register.
You told me that before.
I was thinking, see, if there is a base, I mean, nobody has said there will be a base. But if there was a base and they said, oh, can we have Ghanaian volunteers? Hey, do you know the number of people who volunteer to go and work at the base? Damn! We are sitting here. Yummy. Uncle has raised his hand. A lot of people want to volunteer and work in an American base.
I mean, the only way that a lot of Ghanaians who, let's say, are intellectuals and middle class, so to speak, are not in America is because they don't get that status. But if they know they'll get a status of making money.
People want to forget about everything and live in America.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's move on. I think this one is quite interesting. We've always talked about trading among ourselves. I don't know, but my view is we should trade among ourselves, but we need certain indicators available and also certain structures. And so the AU are the summits in Kigali, the most beautiful city, we're told, in Africa. African leaders decided to sign what they call a common free trade
How many of those haven't they signed?
Well, they haven't signed a common one. Yeah,
similar.
There's always
Look
the
at
intent.
ECOWAS, even a common currency.
Fantastic.
Even those who are very close to us. How well have we been able to?
So this is it. We decided to do this. It means that we're going to remove restrictions by way of tariffs and other disincentives to the export or import of goods in between countries, and then the commerce or the trading between countries.
It's very complex.
Great.
It's very complex.
You know, the shipping rates or freight, etc., the routes are just not available. For the airlines, the routes are also just not available. The borders are not easy to penetrate. So if I want to send a good to Zambia, for example, or just around here, Gambia, there's no straight flight for me.
It's complicated.
Yeah,
it's complicated.
So I don't know how. I don't know how this is going to. How are we going to bring the goods in intra-country or
AU. They sign fine. They meet and talk about nice things. And I understand Nigeria is not readily involved.
No, they have not signed to it. President General Buhari says that he is consulting internally before any of such decision is made at all. Yeah. But these ones also are subject to approval of the various parliaments if they exist in those countries.
Oh, as for our parliament, they will agree to all the agreements that come.
It's a good intent, I think that, but I don't know whether it's going to be possible. And that's on page 16. We have court assigns lawyers for major Mahama killers, and let's use practical ways of solving sanitation problems, Zoom Lion, and then we have teacher in trouble for allegedly having sex with a 12-year-old, and that's on page 3 of the paper. And it says that the whole circuit court on Tuesday granted bail to a primary class 6 teacher who allegedly had sex with a 12-year-old pupil in the sum of some 40,000 Ghana cedis with 2 sureties. And one of the sureties must be a government worker with a monthly salary of no less than 3,000. That person needs to be a director and above. I mean, that's the rating. Granting the bail, the court presided over by the judge said that the docket of the case was destroyed by the recent fire, which gutted the judge's chamber and therefore ordered the trial to start afresh. Okay. There's a taxi driver too who has been arrested for bolting with luggage containing money and personal belongings of a 17-year-old American.
Yeah, that was in the newspapers.
When he arrived at the Kotoka International Airport.
I think they caught him around Denu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ghana destination for trade.
But there's something that concerns me. I don't know if it's a joke.
Which one?
That a taxi driver, there was a convoy.
I think it was a joke.
It was a joke?
I think so.
Okay. So now that I've started, let me tell you if it's a joke, then that the taxi driver decided to join the convoy so that he would not be in the traffic. But what he didn't realize was that there was one last vehicle, one last security vehicle.
And I told this route is the Ebre Road. Right?
Yes. Yeah. So when he got to, where did he get to when he wanted to branch?
I think that when you get to before Zongo Junction or Medina,
okay.
So you don't.
So it's free range for him. He's driving in so they clear the road, give up.
And then the police.
When he got there, he wanted to turn. The policeman said, "Masa Dimu."
Dimu. So it means that he's going to turn around the Adenta Junction.
Yeah, you're not turning until the convoy stops, Masa. Where are you going? You joined us, so let's finish it. Let's finish the race. That's nice. They should do it to all persons, not just taxi drivers. And
the back page of the Ghanaian Times has a story. Good news is World Water Day has been marked across the world. We're also marking it with some great discussions this morning. $3.78 million water supply improvement project to commence in the Volta region, and a total of some 69,000 people to benefit from this facility as part of the water supply improvement project. And the WSIP in the Volta, the contract for the commencement of the project was signed between the contractors and the government in whole on Tuesday. It will cover 35 communities. Now, if you live in some of these communities, this is good news for you. You live in Adaklu, Whole West, Agotimes, Yopi, and the whole municipality and other areas, 35 communities in all. And the regional minister, Archibald Lecha, is seen here. Good morning to you, Dr. Archibald Lecha. The next time I visit Ho, I'll come and visit you. Good work you're doing in the Volta region as a Volta regional minister. The Terminal 3, the Kotoka International Airport, is ready to commence operations. And yesterday I was just on some Facebook platforms, and people were saying it was started by John Dramani Mahama. Good work he did there. But it will be inaugurated, or the sword will be cut when it's completed by the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It's a continuum. It is his name that will be on the plan. You can just imagine.
Okay.
All right, so we're done.
All right, let's read some messages. We'll get into the daily guide in a bit, and then we'll do the two business newspapers, the Business Finder and the Business and Financial Times. So here's a message from Stephen Nukuno, who thinks that we've just nailed it. We're independent nation indeed. Every agreement and the one government can always be reviewed. We're sitting on time bomb and always preach Ghana beyond aid, but this act of having US-Ghana agreement in a military base or just agreement is suicidal, because Donald Trump's America is concerned about only Americans. Let this government wake up. It's a bit long. I'll just end it here. Thank you very much for your message, Stephen. This one says, it's surprising how our ministers seem to change when they get the power. Does the defense minister want to tell us that all decisions of the previous government is worth continuing? Then why did they campaign for change? If this is the plan to a Ghana beyond aid, then I'm disappointed. That's TR Prince from Wadie Jumakese Kwabre East District. That's where you're watching the show and sending the message. This one says, the way government review the ECG contracts, he can do the same to this American military contract and stop the hypocrites or hypocrisy. Boats in Kumasi sending this message. This one says, hello, good morning. It's Anthony Yabua from New Ebrim. If you want to use
sorry,
I'm not sure exactly what you're saying, so I'll come back to it. This one says, I think we're still trading our mother Ghana for aid because it's clear we're not benefiting equally as partners. Siraj from Techiman. And we will do the daily guide. I'll come back to more of your messages in a bit.
So let's do the daily guide. It says, Nana OK's free trade. Mahama attacks Otabil over Animal TV. Another, this one of those tabloids, mischief. So we won't read
But we're trying to also confirm the message posted was from his handle.
What did he say?
Echo, I beg.
He went to meet the NDC UK branch.
I know that.
I've listened to an audio.
I know that Kwame Jan posted, so this was in quotes, so something that former President Mahama must have said. He put it on his page on Facebook. Maybe Echo will pull it out, and then we will see exactly what he said or what he didn't say. Okay,
so this is the story. The story is on page 3. It says former President John Mahama has launched a veiled attack on Pastor Mensah and Amwa Otabil, virtually labeling him as a hypocrite. It says, although the former president did not specifically...
So that's the interpretation of what he put out. Okay, so why don't we go... Let us not go into the interpretation.
It says, although if the president did not specifically mention Otabil's name, the outbursts appear to be in reaction to the...
So let's just read the post instead of read somebody's interpretation.
Yeah. So he's quoted here. Can I read the quote? Not really.
It's a bit long, though. Yeah, I was thinking that maybe we can put it on the screen if we have it.
Okay, so we have other stories on the front page of the Daily Guide. NDC signs secret deal with U.S. military. 6 banks in danger. And then we have the News One pullout of the Daily Guide. Joyce Jijo bounces back, Beck's lawyer. And this is how it's been put. Controversial ex-HIV/AIDS ambassador Joyce Jijo Mensah has apologized for saying she sacked her former legal counsel back in 2015. She expressed a regret for having made public statement that put lawyer Kojo Krante's professional conduct in question. She's therefore asking for his forgiveness and consider working with her again. We have other stories there. I married because I didn't want baby mama drama. Stone Boy, also taking a dig. Getting good reply from Shatawale. All right. The bunch reunites with former boss Don Jazzy. And then we have Yao Sapong others for altar call. We have other stories there. So grab a copy of the Daily Guide. You have all the juicy stuff. Front pages, inside pages, the center spread.
Albert's from Anaje in Takrade watching the show. Good morning to you. This one also says, okay, so you're talking about Dominic Nitu says, we can't get out of these military deals that have been forced in into one. Well, nobody's forcing anything on us, first of all. Even life we get out by other means. Please ask him, does he want to be a well-fed slave or a hungry free man? Mr. Java is asking on WhatsApp. I would want
to be a well-fed hungry free man.
This one says, Mustafa Hamid wants us to hope that what has been approved by cabinet will be shot down by a parliament the NPP controls. He's a classic definition of hypocrisy. Very in Kumasi saying there. Okay, I guess that's because we know that once there's majority, MPP majority in Parliament, there is no way. I mean, unless it has to do with something. You will have some things come out of the debates, but when it gets to voting, you know, they will win.
It's always pretty difficult in that way.
Yeah. Okay, so people having their say on this, and I'm having to use my discretion because people are being very blunt. And using other words.
And this one, I mean, the messages from the public cut across the political divide.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is why I said it's about the consistency of what we stand for, what we say, and then, and look, we have to be realistic. When you're in government, because of diplomacy and the relationship, you can't just be saying things or doing things that you were opposing on the political platform, and we have to be truthful.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that is why you don't have to re-echo them when you're on the political platforms.
Yeah.
Because you know that governance is different than just being a free-for political.
Well,
animal.
no, but you say the contract is without head. As for the other things that you say, let's calm down, people. And let's have this conversation. I like that. I like the fact that you're all talking about this, and we're getting lots of messages. This one says, Madam Honorable Yaya, Tourism, Tolon constituency, we want our MP and the DCE to work on our water issue at Wantungu. We're suffering from getting water. People walk miles searching for water, you say. So you're just re-echoing the challenges you have in your constituency with water, and you're asking Honorable Yahaya, and then, but I don't know, is it Honorable Yahaya Tourism? Because it's kind of mixed up. Please send me the message again and tell me exactly who you're mentioning, so I can mention the name of your DCE and your Member of Parliament as well. This one says, Nanado must send a call. Hey, no, I can't read this. I can't read this. Please, let's be circumspect in what we are sending this morning. Somebody's asking what is happening to NHIS registration. If there's a certain challenge that you're facing specifically, please let us know. Let's do the Finder newspaper. Front page of the Finder, and then we'll end with the Business and Financial Times, or perhaps the Finder, and then we'll quickly go online because I think we spent a lot of time already. ECG concession in jeopardy, according to the coalition of stakeholders on energy concession arrangement. They've cautioned that the Electricity Company of Ghana concession compact is heading for a crash and will miss the September 2018 deadline. Details of this, you've got to grab the Finder, the Business Finder. And then on the banking sector, no cause for alarm. Bank of Ghana is reassuring all of us. KIA's Terminal 3 to be ready in Q3. That story also in the Finder newspaper. Let's end it all with the Business and Financial Times. Government secures 13 million, is it euros? Yes. 13 million euros it is for deposit protection scheme. Our job is not done, according to the Bank of Ghana. They say a lot remains to be done to restore safety, soundness and stability in the financial sector. Many more bank branches will give way to technology, according to the AFB boss. And then effective sanitation management requires comprehensive data. And for how many years now, we still talk, whether it's health and safety, wherever, all the other areas, we still talk about data. We don't have the basic things. And we will go round,
we can't track anything.
Talk about it. Yeah.
We can't track anybody. How much, no, we can't track anything, yeah. Anybody, so how much more, all the things that we cannot see in the first place.
National security can track you.
For where?
I think they can.
For where?
Yeah, we hear things.
Oh,
let's quickly do myjoyonline.com, but let's do more of your messages.
Still rely on word of mouth.
They can track you, they can listen to you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Abdul Rashid is in Tamale, says all corners in this country will have been full of cars. Okay, no reading. Can we not get so political with the messages? This one says, good morning. Somebody should save the Upper West branch of NADMO from collapsing. The regional NADMO boss will empty its stock bases. You say Zion in Wazion. Please come again. Tell us exactly what you think is happening with the NADMO office there and why you think it's going to collapse. This one says, Ghana government must be serious and run the nation as a sovereign one and stop all these partisan politics wahala. Is from Daniel Owusu, who is in Akim Oda, sending this message. This one says, Mama V. Roland. Roland is much interested in half-caste things, so...
No.
Meow Godwin at the
I'm interested in the things that will take people to America.
That's... you dear, ask for your mind there. Kai. Let's do myjoyonline.com and then we'll move on to other stories.
Right, so we look at myjoyonline.com and... I think we need to bring these people to the studio. You know, they're a group of some taxi drivers. They're not too comfortable with Uber. And yesterday they sent me messages indicating, because I usually work in the transport sector, that they said that...
What did they want?
They said the deputy minister was allowing the Uber people to dominate the market and everything.
I think we should find some university... students, those who develop apps and those who are into all these technology,
some great conversation
to find something to do with our taxi drivers. Like they should find innovative ways of also doing their business.
Linking them,
I think they should stop concentrating on Uber and try and see how you can make your own, the way they do it, also
I think
viable.
that's a great idea.
We should come up with something for them.
I think that's a great idea. So that you join that fleet, right?
Yeah, they should.
So that everybody will be just doing Uber.
There should be something. There should be some. There can be something. Yeah.
All right. So we have the ugly ones are yet to be polite. Uber driver toss cases, naked passengers. The introduction of Uber as a means of transport for many has brought some dignity into commuting, especially within the city, and it's more private. You think that you're in your private car, but now we know them because the Uber, they like using fuel efficient consuming vehicles. So you see them small, Tico-like cars. So you get to know, oh, this is Uber. But it could be some private ones too. Mamavi's summit took place. Alma Summit, be versatile, creative, female journalists urged.
Yeah. We need to support ourselves.
Yes.
We need to support. It's a very tough industry.
So it's also there's nothing for male journalists.
Oh, I think when we had
because
when we had Araba and Messi here, I wanted to talk about that, but it's also because the men are already, you guys are already on your feet. Because there are a lot of men in the system.
Yeah, no, it's not about the things that the men need to have in their mind to be straight, correct. That's the thing. Yeah, it's not the penetration alone. Because they will penetrate all right, but Charlie, we have deep issues.
Yeah, you also have issues.
We have deep issues.
But women, like, we need to support ourselves. We need to guide each other. Because sometimes when you're fresh and you are into the media space, it's like you've been dropped into this whole whatever. You're just doing what you think. But if you hear what if you hear what other people have gone through,
feel like just a drop in the ocean.
Yeah, and it's good to have somebody who can mentor you, somebody you can look up to, you know, that kind of thing. At Amil's presidential library, after the letters, handshakes between presidency and UCC, it's very typical of, you know, a lot of things that are happening as well. It's just a reflection, a tiny little bit of the general matter. We do things, we cast swords, we shake hands. Sometimes we use the shovel, they do things, and then, yeah, it comes to nothing, really. Parliament must reject U.S. military cooperation agreement, according to Governance Institute, the Ghana Institute of Governance and Security. And then? Paga Crocodile Pond in distress, filth engulfs popular tourist sites. 9 teachers indicted in a Jusuman Senior High School sex scandal. And it's a wrap, I guess. Incompetence campaign, NDC supporters believed I was incompetent, according to former President Mahama.
I think...
And then free SHS can become another JIDA scandal. That's according to Ayariga. He sued the Akufo-Addo government. And we will talk about details of that in our AM Talk right after sport. We've got to go. I really side with Roland, somebody says, about whether military camp or whatever. These U.S. military who have been to Achiasi surely have gone to tell a story. And to me, that's why they want to pay back with their plan. So Okay, so what? Isankoma, let's wait for NDC. Why? All right. So many messages that we had. Exactly. But obviously we can't read all of them right now. We thank you for sending all the messages. Stay with us.